Hi, this is Sarah again with Action Enforcer Pro, and in this next advanced tutorial series, we're going to be talking about creating and working with timers. In addition to actions, timers are at the heart of what makes Action Enforcer Pro such a great productivity tool. In this section, we're going to look at how they work, how to edit their labels in time, and how to organize them to fit your needs. Let's talk about the three different modes that timers can be in. So when they appear on the interface, they appear in either activated, running, or completed formats. Activated means when you've created a timer and it's displayed on the interface, but it hasn't been started or completed yet. So it's just ready to be used. Running is when you push the Action Enforcer Pro play icon or activate icon, and it will start the timer, and you are now in running mode. You can pause it and you can see the total time that you have left when it is in this mode as well. A timer enters into the completed mode when it has completely counted down or you have manually pressed the complete button, which is this green check mark here, and it will then show as completed as well. Each timer mode changes the look of a timer as well as some of the buttons that appear on it. Let's look at the various interface elements that appear in each mode. The big red bullseye is the Action Enforcer Pro play button. When you mouse over it, these little flames come shooting off and it's saying, okay, just press me and we're ready to go. So if you press that play button, you'll see it goes into the running mode and it will show you the total amount of time left. As it's in the running mode, you can push reset, pause, you can still delete it, and you can manually say we have completed that item. So let's do reset. And again, this you can hit this green check mark if you want to manually complete the item. So you can do that in running mode or in activated mode, but not running or completed yet. And that's what it would look like once you hit completed. So this is showing you that you have completed that item. Up here, you'll notice these two squares, one open, one closed. If you click that, it allows you to reorder the item. So let's say we wanted to plan our day first. We just swap those two out, and now we have plan day first. And that helps you organize your day linearly. And if you're going to use this little feature up here where it links the timer, so if you use the link timer option, it will automatically go from one item to the next, one action to the next, when you've either manually completed that item or the timer runs out. So if you're using that linked option, you need to have them in the exact order that you want to do as it goes left to right, and then it zigzags down back to the next row, and then over, down. So you need to have them in the order that you want to do them if you're going to use the linked option up here. Down here is the timer bar, and you can adjust the time that you want to allocate to that item as you're actually doing the item or any time throughout the day that you want to use that action group. So it's not set in stone when you estimate the time. If you're getting into something and you need an extra couple minutes, you can go ahead and adjust it. And speaking of extra couple minutes, if you need something that is different from the blocks of time that you give you here, you can click this little slider icon to the right of this time bar, and it will bring up an option for you to use this little slider option, and you can click between 1 and 7 hours, and then you can adjust the minutes at a minute level. So this gives you a little bit finer grain adjustments. Down here, this little edit notepad is something that allows you to edit the notes associated with that action item. And we'll just cancel out of there. These double opposing arrows right below this move icon allow you to move the action item to another timer group. You can either move it or copy it. If you copy it, it retains a copy within the timer group that you have active, and it also moves it to another timer group. The priority flag is something that we talked about in the action list, but I will want to review it again, as you can manually adjust the priority from within your timer group. So remember, we had those asterisks, the 1, 2, 3, and that said between low, medium, and high. Well, if we didn't set that right as we were creating the action, and or we want to allocate a different priority in this particular timer group, we just simply roll our mouse over this area, and the option to select between yellow, which is low, orange, medium, or red, which is high priority, is automatically given to us by just scrolling that over that area and then left clicking on which color priority we want. And so now it's saying with that 3 asterisks before the plan of the day that this is high priority, we must do it. If you start a timer and you want to adjust it and give yourself a little bit more time, you can use something that is called the +5 feature, which means when you roll over a currently activated and running timer, you will see it change to a +5. You simply click on that and it will add 5 minutes each time you click. You can also drag your cursor over, in this case it's a slider time increment, or down here we can see how we can just click and add and bump up time by using the preset time slider bar, but the +5 allows you to easily add small increments of time if you think you're going to run over. Let's clear out our timer blocks and start talking about these 12 squares. When you're looking at the interface, when you first start it up, you're going to have these 12 empty blocks. These represent a timer group, and these are our productivity blocks or chunks for the day or for that particular timer group for our day. A timer group is nothing more than a collection of timers that are related in some way. Just like our action lists are a collection of actions that are related in some way, the timer groups are also related in some way as well. And how they are related is completely up to you. For example, you might have a Monday timer group that contains timers for actions you want to complete on Monday. You might have another timer group named Vacation Preparation that includes everything you need to get done to prepare for a vacation. Action Enforcer Pro allows you to create and save up to 50 custom timer groups. In addition, there are also timer groups for the 7 days of the week as well as 31 days of the month. This allows you to organize actions and timers in a variety of ways depending on your personal preferences. Note, while you are free to edit the names of the custom timer groups, the timer groups for the days of the week and the days of the month aren't editable. A timer group is always displayed on the interface, and the name of that current timer group is shown in the upper left-hand section of the timer group portion of the interface. And if we just roll over the name of that timer group, it will bring up this drop-down menu which allows you to scroll between all the different timer group options. And here are those 50 custom timer groups that we can create. And then down here are those Monday through Sunday, and then the dates of the month as well, 1 through 31. And again, Monday down are not editable. The 1 through 50, you can create custom timer groups that it's up to you to define what they are and what they mean to you. To rename one of the 50 custom timer groups, you simply put your mouse over the timer group that you want to adjust or rename. You highlight it by left-clicking on it, and when you do that, you're going to see this option down here pop up that says Edit Group Name, and you'd simply highlight by double-clicking on the timer group 1 or whatever name you want to rename, and then you're going to write in whatever name you want to use for that timer group. For instance, let's say we are going to create a timer group for our regular quarterly taxes that we have to file. Then we would push Update Name, and now we have a timer group that is associated with quarterly taxes. You'll also notice up here that there are 4 different options to help you more easily navigate through your list of custom timer groups. You have this one up here in the upper left, which is a list of all. Then you can sort to Monday through Sunday by just hovering over Monday through Sunday, and it will bring you to the Monday through Sunday option. If you hover over the 1 through 16, it's going to skip down to and start you out with 1 through 16, and then 17 through 31 brings you down to those dates in question as well. So it's just a way to more quickly access items. You can always just go to the all list and scroll this way as well. When switching between timer groups or trying to find the one that you're looking for, a handy little feature is that you can quickly see what's in there by clicking on the different timer groups. And then when you have that highlighted, the one that you want to see what's in here, you can just press the space bar and it will temporarily make this drop down menu transparent so you can see what are the actual actions plus timers in that particular timer group. And you can see we still have nothing in the quarterly taxes timer group. Again, as we already mentioned, how you use your timer groups and how you use them in relation to your action lists is really totally up to you. The names that you allocate to them and the times, that is up to you to decide how it's going to best work for your particular situation. You can use them in any variety of combinations that make sense for you as well. So we already mentioned you can go through and rename some of these custom timer groups to names that would make sense for you, like we already went through and named one quarterly taxes. You might want to do one that's presentations or client proposals, and you might have set times that you typically allocate to those specific actions, and then you have a great starting point and then you can hit the ground running. Or you may simply prefer to use any of the built-in day or date-based timer groups to manage times and actions based upon the day of the week or the day of the month. Or you can again use any combination, whatever suits your needs. Regardless of how you use this and name it, there are 3 main types of tasks you can perform in all timers in a group: deleting, resetting, and linking. Let's look at each of these tasks a little closer. First, let's look at deleting all the timers in a timer group. In the event you want to quickly delete all timers in a group so you can fill it with new actions and timers, simply click on the timer option menu button and press the delete all timers button at the bottom of the timer group panel. In that case, let's say we had timers associated with this quarterly taxes group that we created, we'd simply scroll down here and press this red X button that says delete all timers in this group. Now this is something that you cannot undo, so make sure you really want to delete all of them. Let's look at the second thing that you can do in a timer group, and that is use the reset all timers. So let's go through an example and let's pull up the actions and timers associated with timer group 2. Let's say we had done a little bit of work on several of these. Instead of pushing pause or reset each one individually, and we wanted to reset them all and start from a blank slate, we could just hit this little reset button right below the word notification, and boom, we're ready to go from a blank slate. The other thing that we touched on earlier, but it's worth repeating, is that you can use this little paperclip to link all of the actions within your timer group so that when one is completed, either by it running out of time or by you manually hitting the green completion button, the next one will automatically begin. And this helps out by saving you a little bit of time so you don't have to stop what you're doing and go in and start the next one, that it will automatically do it for you. But you have to have these in the right order that you want to do them. So that's where being able to move the items around in your timer group is handy if you want to use this linked item feature. One more thing to note is that when you do link these items, they will set off a notification at the completion of that item. So you won't be left wondering if you should be moving on or not. You can just listen for the sound when it goes off. That's your indication that you should be moved on to your next productivity chunk for the day. Another handy feature is this little break timer up here. So let's say you get a phone call or you want to take a lunch break. You can push all your active timers on pause by simply using this break timer feature. If you want to reset it or stop it before your time runs out, you can just click reset and it will automatically reset your break timer back to 0. So for instance, let's say we're in the middle of our success routine. We get a phone call. We want to take a quick 10-minute break. We just hit the 10 button over here and boom, this automatically pushes it on pause and saves how much time is left on that timer. Let's say our phone call ends early, we just push reset and there you go. Now we are ready to push play again for our success routine and we're off and running. When the break timer is active, it will pulse, letting you know that you're on your break and it is counting down. To see how much time is left, simply roll your mouse over the break timer bar and it will show you how much time is left. The break timer uses the same alarm and notification sound options as those for regular timers, and we're going to be talking about those here in the next little section. Before we move on, I want to wrap up by pointing out 2 additional useful features when you are creating and managing your timers. One is this little bar up here. If it is green, it means you are well below your threshold of 8 hours for the day, so you have a light day as far as what you've scheduled. And this is the total time that you have allocated to your tasks in your specific timer group. Also, if you roll over your date up here, you'll notice that it changes to yellow, and that means it is telling you what is the estimated completion time if you went directly from one task to the next and took the total allocated time to complete the task. So this is just a handy way to say, how much time have I allocated to my tasks at hand and when is the completion time. If you get a little crazy and overestimate or stretch yourself thin as you start adding more and more tasks or time to things, it would turn to yellow. And if we go past that 8-hour mark, and this would be 15 total hours, it's saying you might want to rethink things. You've probably overcommitted yourself in terms of what you think you can do today. So that wraps up this video on creating and managing timers. In the next video, we're going to be talking about sounds and notifications and how it can help you make sure you stay on track. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you're starting to take advantage of the incredible power of Action Enforcer Pro. But even if you only leverage a small fraction of what it's capable of, you will see tremendous results. But you have to use it, you have to apply it. So get out there and start increasing your productivity and crushing the clock, becoming an Action Pro.